Hey, comic book fans, it's Amy the Frog Queen here, and today I'm talking to Chris Sebela. And if you're not familiar with his work, he wrote such comic books as Escape from New York, Ghost, Fire and Stone, Aliens vs. Predator, Hellraiser, and Shadow Man. Also, you would know him from recent comics like Dead Letters, which he co-wrote, and Welcome Back, which was an Image Comics series that I had previously interviewed Chris about. So we're going to talk about what he's doing now, and also the zine he recently put out called I Lived in a Clown Motel, which is super, super interesting. Without further ado from me, though, here's my interview with Chris Sebela. Yeah, I guess we should start by just saying I read your new zine. I Lived in a Clown Motel.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't actually know when that was published or when it came out.
I guess it came out around April.
Okay.
I made it just kind of on a whim for Emerald City Comic Con. So, yeah, April or March, something like that.
How do you go about facilitating, like, just getting a zine out there? Like, obviously at a Comic Con, you can just, like, pass it to people while you're there, but how do you get it out there otherwise? I don't know.
I've been selling it through my website mostly. I'm selling it at shows and through my website. I've sold some to comic shops here in Portland. And I've had a couple other shops express an interest, but I don't know. I'm just like kind of whoever wants it. I've got it available for them, but it doesn't really seem like a thing that like, I don't know. It baffles me that anybody wants to read it. So like, I haven't even considered like how to distribute it further and wider. It feels like it's a very niche market, so I'm not too concerned about getting it out there like widespread.
Well, I feel like zines in general are niche. You know what I mean? Like there isn't like a huge amount of people who are just dying to read solely zines. I know one guy who only reads zines, is crazy about zines, like kind of obsessed. But like I don't. It's an underground thing still. You know what I mean? Even though it was decades ago, but it's never really. You know, that's what it is. It stays underground.
Pretty much, yeah, and I'm totally cool with that. Like, there's, I don't know. I feel like I've gotten enough coverage off of this stupid Clown Motel thing, so I don't need, more. Like, the level I'm at is perfectly okay, and it's kind of too much as it is, so.
So, what are you working on right now, then? If you're up till 5 a.m. working, what were you working on?
I was working on this book I'm doing with Jonathan Brandon Sawyer, who is my co-creator on Welcome Back.
Oh yeah.
So we're doing a comic that's for Stila, which is it's like a new comics. It's an app basically, so you can read comics on your phone.
Okay.
So everything is kind of formatted specifically for the phone, and each page is kind of like one long scroll. So it's a weird format to work in, but we're doing like sort of an old like 70s grindhouse type movie comic. It's got like bikers and muscle cars and a vampire and the end of the world. So
nice.
Yeah, so I wrote part 4 of that last night and then started working on outlining part 5. I'm just about, well, I've started writing, DC hired me to write this Injustice miniseries.
Okay.
So I've started writing that, which is super intimidating, and I'm kind of freaking out about it. So.
But you've worked for DC before.
I just started working for DC. I took a class. They offered this writers workshop that Scott Snyder taught, and I got invited to be part of that. So, as a result of the class, they hired me to write a 2-part Killer Croc story.
Oh.
So the first one is basically done, and I've written them all. So now my buddy Brian Level is drawing them, which was super exciting to me. And I get to write Killer Croc, just like kicking the crap out of things for 2 issues. But no, this is my first time playing in DC Sandbox. So, and with Injustice, I'm writing Superman and Wonder Woman and Batman, and I don't know. It's like just being tossed in the deep end of the pool. It's kind of scary.
So how long is Injustice? How many issues?
It's just going to be a 6-issue mini.
6 issues is a lot. That is a lot.
Yeah, and it's because it's a digital first book, so It comes out as 10-page chapters every week. So it's not like I'm just writing. It's like I have to write a script a week for the next 12 weeks.
Wow.
So yeah, that's a whole other pressure that I'm not used to working on deadlines that tight. The first issue comes out, I think, the first week of October. So yeah, everything's moving super fast on this. And then I've got a bunch of stuff in the works that hasn't been announced yet. I'm working on the second arc of Heartthrob, which is a creator-owned book I do with my buddy Robert Wilson IV over at Oni, which is a crime romance book. And I'm trying to think what else that's actually been announced. I'm trying to finish. I'm working on a prose version of the Clown Motel book, because the whole point of the Clown Motel thing was I did a Kickstarter, and I had to promise. With Kickstarters, you have to have some sort of reward at the end. So mostly I just wanted somebody else to pay for me to go on that trip. So then I was like, I will write a book about it. Just made it up off the top of my head, and then once I was done with the whole project, I was like, oh shit, now I have to actually write a book about it. And now it's spiraled out of control. It's 300 something pages long right now.
Holy.
Yeah.
About biker gangs and rowdy drunk clowns.
Yep. Everything you ever wanted to know about a dude living in a clown motel for a month, I get into it. So yeah, those are kind of my most pressing projects right now. And then I have a bunch of stuff that's, sort of more low key and in the works. And so yeah, but I feel busy kind of all the time, nonstop.
Well, that's more than many comic book writers can actually say, because comic book writing, for the most part, most comic book writers only dream about working for the big two. You've already worked for Marvel as well with Battling Pug? Is that correct? No, am I getting that mixed up?
Yeah. The Battle Pug, that's Mike Norton.
Oh, right, you're right. Thank you.
No, I co-wrote 5 issues of Captain Marvel with Kelly Sue.
Yeah, okay, this is what I'm... Yeah. Now I'm right. Now I get it. My bad.
I co-wrote 2 issues of Fantastic Four as well. So, but those are all co-writing things. So I feel like they count, but they kind of don't count, because I'm there as support. I'm not the main attraction by a long shot. So Like, I'm just sort of like the quiet dude in the back who's like, making sure nothing collapses. But, nobody's picking up Captain Marvel because, like, I work on it.
But, so do you consider it like a stepping stone then, or?
Yeah, in theory. I mean, it hasn't worked as a stepping stone for me. Like, I haven't gotten any Marvel work after that, but it was. At the time, I didn't really have. I had like one book out basically, and like Kelly Sue. Basically, we've been friends for over 10 years, so she kind of basically took pity on me and was like, "Hey, I've run into a super cramped schedule and I need some help working on these. Do you want to do it?" And I was like, "Yeah, shit, yeah." So it was interesting to see like how things work over there, especially like when you're used to working in quote unquote indie comics. Like, the stuff at Marvel just moves so fast. I mean, same with DC. Like, things just chug along because like things have to come out. So there's no, there's no screwing around. Like, everything's just go, go, go. And you have to keep up with it. So it was a nice sort of early peek into what all that is like. And now I'm definitely in the pool by myself and trying to like schedule all this out and figure out like, how am I going to do all this? So at least I've had a little bit of experience with it before this.
Nice. So when did Welcome Back actually wrap up? Because I was on a temporary hiatus from reporting. I know we did an interview on Welcome Back when it first hit the stands, and then shortly after that, my life kind of spiraled out of disorder, into disorder and out of control. Sure, so I took like a very short break from reporting on comics. So I don't know when Welcome Back finished up.
Last issue came out, I don't know, I think around May or June?
Okay.
No, it was earlier than that, but I think maybe it was May, January, February, April. Maybe April. No. Yeah, I'm going to go with May. May sounds right.
Has the trade come out yet?
The trade for the first 4 issues is out. The trade for the second 4 issues will be out sometime next year. Okay. I think the last I heard was like April of 2017, so it's still a ways away. But yeah, I'm excited for that to actually come out, and like for everybody who's kind of waiting on it to be able to actually finish the book.
Yeah, because I definitely didn't get to read the last couple issues, and that's mostly due to me having, financial issues, and then I couldn't buy my giant stacks of comics for a while because it was getting bad. My comic purchases they're like building up, and I mean, I do get everything digitally, but there's something about reading comics in digital format that I despise. I just hate it.
I'm okay with it, but yeah, I totally understand. Everybody has their own way they want to read stuff, so yeah, I totally get it.
I mean, I've read them digitally for sure, and there's certain things, when they're only available digitally, I'll read them. Especially like, older comics, like older famous comics that, nobody's gonna be able to get their hands on that. They're not in print anymore. You might as well pick it up digitally. And like, like you said, like there are digital only comics out there, that, big labels are starting to put out rather than straight to print, which is kind of interesting. Right.
So yeah, I mean, I mostly read digital just because it takes me forever to get around to reading the books. that I want to read, and I just couldn't deal with like stacks of comics building up and like trying to figure out like shit. I don't even know where I left off. At least with digital, like everything's kind of, it'll tell you which ones you've read, and it keeps everything nice and organized, and you don't have to like. I don't know. I'm trying to deal with less physical objects in my life, so I kind of made the full transition over to digital stuff.
I definitely understand the less physical objects. I was a clutter bug, and I'm trying to declutter everything. It's that little. It got out of control, And I think there is something to be said. Like, one of the reasons why I don't buy piles of comics by paper anymore is due to the fact that I have nowhere to put them. Like, literally. I have, like, a walk-in closet that's just boxes of comics. And what are they doing? They're sitting there.
Yeah, I just didn't want that. So, I already have enough, like, books from the rest of my life. It's like I don't need to add piles and piles of comics on top of that. Like, so yeah, digital just works better for me. Like, if I could just compress everything I own, like, and put it on a tablet, I would do that. Like, physical objects, everything, just like put it all on a tablet. Like, so all I need is a bed and a TV and a couch.
Nice. And cigarettes and beer.
Not so much beer, but yeah, cigarettes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I think you said in your zine you don't drink beer.
No. I like to make people aware of that.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me today.
Sure.
I would love to chat more before Injustice comes out. Or right after, shortly after, maybe would be better. I'm not sure about that, but if you have time and... hit me up. Like, I tend to spend most of my time like working alone in dark rooms like this, so I'm always up for talking to other human beings. Nice. Also, if you could send me just some pictures of some of the comics that you've worked on that you like, kind of thing, so I can put in like a little montage at the end.
Sure.
Which is something silly I just like to do, just to give people the visuals on, comics they might not be aware of, what they look like, that sort of thing,
Yeah, I'll add it to my to-do list. I've started a to-do list. So.
Oh, okay. A physical one or like a brain one?
No, digital. But it sounds like, it's like fingered with my phone and stuff, so I can't get away from it.
Nice.
But yeah, I have to. I'm just like I'm trying to get control of my life because like I've been trying to keep it all in my head, and it's like, oh yeah, at some point things just like leak out, or just die inside there, and I've like 3 months later, it's like, oh fuck, right, I was supposed to do that. So I'm trying to be a better human being, if possible.
Totally. All right, well, I'll let you go for now. I'm sorry for waking you up, but thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me back.
All right. Talk soon. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.